Well, I grew up in a broken home. My dad was a union tradesman. He was a great man with his hands. Everyone loved him, but the moment he would have alcohol, it would just destroy things. That resulted in several DUIs. Of course, he begged for the treatment and ended up being the best thing he could have done. For the most part, that saved his life. So in my teen years, I started experimenting with alcohol and drugs. My dad had me go through Alateen classes when he was recovering as an alcoholic. Very informative, taught me of the warning signs of addictions, and it's a great informative tool, but it doesn't save you. But I still fell to that sin. I still fell to the pressure of friends and started doing bad things. In 1996, my mom called me, and she has a ticket for me to fly back to Alaska with her. She knew the place I was at in my life, and she just urged me to come and maybe clear my head, get some time away, and refocus my life. I woke up and I just looked out at what God had created, and it really it brought tears to my eyes at how beautiful it was, and just something felt different. And while I was there, my sister's church, Anchorage Baptist Temple, was having a revival. And my sister urged me to attend, so I went the whole week to the revival, and during that revival, the pastor spoke of being able to be free of bondage in your sin, and you just have to take those chains off and lay them at the Lord's feet. The Lord He broke my heart, and I decided that was it. I was gonna take these chains off and put them at His feet. And I felt new through my salvation, but several months later, that just wore off. I failed to get into a Bible teaching church that would have men in it that would lead me in growing my faith. 3 months after we had our first son, Thorin, my father was fighting lung cancer. He fought it into remission, only for it to come back and spread throughout his body. That following February, my father gave his life up to lung cancer. 8 months later, I lost my mother to a heart attack. And so as being young and a young married man with a young child, and it was rough, and I wasn't angry with the Lord, but I just shut down, for probably over a year. I worked and came home. Then we started our son in kindergarten at Bethesda schools. And it finally got to a point where he was old enough that he was understanding that we weren't going to church on Sundays. And he asked one weekend, how come we don't go to church? When my son asked me about attending church, I was broken. I have no excuse other than I was failing as a spiritual leader in the home, as a father, and as a husband. So we started returning to Bethesda. About that time, they were shooting a film called The Board Movie, and I never knew the man, but a man named Gary Varvel got on stage and was asking for volunteers, and they needed an electrician. And I thought, hey, I can do that. So I got involved and started to meet other men in the church, and that really blossomed into strong Christian relationships. These past few years at Bethesda, the Lord has taught me mainly that I have to just let go and let Him pull me in the directions that He wishes. Through the constant study with other men, through Transparency Group, I've learned how to listen to the Lord, and I never understood that before. But now I hear Him, and I understand. He controls everything, and He's so apparent in many situations. Exodus 15:2. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. This is my God, and I will praise Him. My Father's God, and I will exalt Him. When I get to heaven, there's really nothing I can say to Him other than bowing down on my face and thanking Him for His blood. My name is Steve Pollett, and Jesus is my Lord.